Hello and welcome to another video. So we're going to be playing some Spartacus. I actually had a couple of reasonable matches with this. Unfortunately, I don't get to use Master Dealer yet. Master Dealer as a one-of in this deck is typically okay. But as far as it is, of course, it's not as good as things like Altered Fate, just because Altered Fate, obviously dumping your entire hand can be much better. So just as a single one-of, it tends to work the best. But it's very hard to play because turn 6 you're playing Spartacus, usually turn 7 you're playing Altered Fate, Altered Fate, Altered Fate. That's usually your aim. And if you can't manage that, it's very unlikely. So that's the only reason this video isn't going to really include Master Dealer being played, unfortunately. But I am hoping to do of this kind of deck for rotation, where Master Dealer basically has to be a 3-of. It's the only way you can make this deck function properly, so we're going to get right into that and check it out. So kicking us off right in the beginning here, we're going to be playing against Haven. Unlimited Haven decks are not really all over the place. I haven't seen too many yet, so hard to say where they're going to kind of settle, but this one I believe is, I think it's Stormhaven from memory, just off the top of my head, Amulet Storm. And of course I get Spring Cleaning as my starter. Spring Cleaning is the only card in this deck I'm a little iffy on. I'm usually uncomfortable with playing it. But it's obviously not the worst possible card, it just feels awkward. Then we of course end up with an Altered Fate in our hand that we can't currently use. They do get the Golden Cities, or City of Gold, sorry. Should be called Golden City, would have been much better. But it's probably trademarked with something else, that's probably why. Either way though, Solar Lancer, just drawing more cards. You can only really pull Spartacus with it. It's the same reason you run Maid Leader, because you only pull Spartacus. Actually, I think Maid Leader can pull, well, I think it's only Spartacus. Just trying to remember. So an okay start off. Magic Dealer, dumping the Age-Worn Weaponry, not a card I typically need. And I can easily trade off this for some extra draw, which will allow Spartacus to actually be usable. Since we do still have an Evo point, we should be reasonably safe. Of course, we're going to take a little bit of damage. Regal Falcon is kind of devastating when it's evolved. As long as we can take care of this with the Spartacus though, it shouldn't be a long-term issue, and all we really need to do is get a couple of decent draws. If we could guarantee an Altered Fate, that would be nice. This is probably the only time that I didn't have Altered Fate in my hand in matches that I normally would play with this deck. Usually I would have it early, but of course we did discard that one with Spring Cleaning, which is probably why. I could have probably planned that out a little bit better. Still though, we have plenty of draw power. We just need to be able to survive one more turn after next, probably. As long as we don't draw another Altered Fate top deck, of course. Which we didn't, but Spine Blade, good way to deal with this without any issue. And we can set up even more draw power. And there is an Altered Fate, so we are actually set up for next turn. Now opponent goes for the Black Inscription, not letting us draw anymore, and their own Altered Fate, so that's interesting. Not seen a Haven deck run Altered Fate like that, so definitely one that is surprising. Now we overdraw, and we go for victory. The odds of us not drawing Altered Fate was going to be reasonably low, plus we had so many play points we could have spent as much draw power as we'd need to kind of clean out those last few cards. For the next matchup, we actually have a mirror match of sorts. It's not a perfect mirror, but it's a mirror match as we're both playing Spartacus Sword with very similar build ideologies. So it was really going to be the first player to reach the final card to win this game. And I do obviously get the graces to go first in this matchup, but it definitely does not mean I'm guaranteed to win, as getting something like Altered Fate in your hand can be the issue. And against an opponent like this, it comes down to who really falters. So if you don't draw into Altered Fate, it can really be the end of you very quickly. We both go for the Bell Ringer on 2 play. And then I end up with a very nice Grand Auction if I wanted, or the Arms Dealer. I thought Arms Dealer would be a little better because it has a nice body, which I might be able to take advantage of if they potentially were going for, obviously, some other cards. And I did strike the 0/0 just for comic effect. And of course they did the same, not really going anywhere. Grand Auction though, drawing extra cards, thanks to the fact that we did obviously discard Trials of Light, either way. Great card. Mentor's Teachings, I'm mainly just looking for draw power now, and I don't have a reason to actually destroy their 0/2 at the moment. We did end up with double Altered Fate though, which is a tricky situation to be in when you have a double Altered Fate, since the odds of me drawing both of them is not great, and I have no way to return them to the deck in this deck, so definitely a tricky situation. But we did manage to double up on our Bell Ringers and leave a spot free for our Spartacus next turn, and they went for a Shining Bell Ringer, so that's where there is the variation. They're running a slightly, obviously, different variant. I did end up getting the Mask Dealer. I was very tempted to use it, but I would need to free up a board slot for that. So I was really hoping they would force one and, of course, trade into something, but they don't end up doing that. We basically were just playing our own boards. We weren't striking each other at all, and it was going to be whoever could get the best hand first. And since I didn't have any way to really draw any more cards that would be half decent, I decided to just throw that whole turn away and then use the next turn to draw cards. And set up as many cards in our hand as possible for the Altered Fate to try and just draw us pretty much out. And we did manage to get ourselves down to 1 card. So if they can't triple Altered Fate, which there is the first one, then we should be okay. Fountain of Angels, okay. And nope, doesn't look like they could manage it. So they did end up attacking both Bell Ringers, triggering our Spartacus win condition, and giving us lethal. So while Spartacus is reasonably uninteractive as a deck, it is a lot of fun to play, and going for that win condition on turn 7 is usually what you want, especially, of course, in the unlimited format. I don't know if this guy really makes a huge difference, but it is nice that he is an option, and if you get stuck without an Altered Fate, or you deck your Altered Fates out using something like Spring Cleaning, he is definitely a good option to have to survive at least 1 extra turn. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe. You'll find the deck list in the description below. Until next time, see ya.